Hi, it's Dave again at AFX. And so for our colleagues who are investigators or title abstractors, a lot of times the question comes up of, what about the good old days? The business is different now. Some investigators or abstractors are wishing that you could go back in time 10 years when things were really busy, and some are. Some are doing, even better now than they were back then. So the question is, how do you look at that scenario where things may be different now than before? Well, the reality is there were no good old days. There always is good days somewhere. And if you're waiting for them to come back today, that's probably not the best approach. You need to go to where they are now. The market may be in a different place. And by market, that might be geographic, demographic, product, price, or service. What was the hot thing as far as a business plan in 2003 might be different now. And so if you go to where that market is, it might be moving to a different location, but in most cases, it's probably not location. It's probably the type of business or product or service or even price that's being offered. It reminds me of, the old adage, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. I mean, the bottom line is that there's good business somewhere, and the companies or investigators or abstractors who are obtaining success are in that place. They're in that market area, they're with that type of client, and they're being successful. That might require some change of the approach that's taken towards the business, maybe some new skills, maybe some new ideas, and maybe even technology on how to engage in that business. But that'll keep you from working for tip money, working for low money, and not getting into the markets where it's more productive and more rewarding to use your skills as an investigator or as a title abstractor. There's not going to be one permanent business profile that you'll have throughout your career. You may start doing something when you begin and transition to something else as the market changes, and over the years do different things, whether it's adding on different businesses or even changing the area of business so that you're in that 5 o'clock place where things are really, really good. You may need to adjust that every few years. If you're not looking where you can predict what your income's going to be, you probably need to know more. Maybe if you can't know for sure that there's going to be a really good opportunity to do business this year, and if it's just coming by chance, business is great this year, bad next year, great the next year, that means you're at the whim of the market and you're not really knowing where the money's coming from. I can remember talking to a colleague who had a furniture store in 2002 and was really doing well with sales. And he thought it was, great for the furniture industry and for his income. And I told him, think of where your money's coming from. At that point, the money was really coming from refinances. Everybody was refinancing their house, getting a home equity line, taking money out, and buying a bunch of stuff, SUVs, furniture, whatever, boats. So if you look at that and prepare that that's not going to be going on forever, and when you see that dropping off, look for that next area of opportunity. It might be remodels, it might be people moving, rather than just waiting for that next thing to happen arbitrarily and going after that market. And as the saying goes, you're never going to bag an elephant if you're just out hunting squirrels. Look for where that big market is. Don't wait for the good old days. The good old days are somewhere for some people, and if you find where that is, you can engage into that same market.